kind of just go over the basic biology of the Asian clam. So I talk about the native range, what it eats, and then why are they kind of invasive. So their native range. The Asian clam is normally found in the Southeast Asian islands, eastern and central Australia, and then parts of Africa. But on the Africa part, it has nothing to do with the Saharas, so they're not really found in those areas. It eats mainly plankton and small little species because they are filter feeders, so they can't eat anything too large. And then why are they invasive? So the corbicula is very successful in coupling the nutrients and energy cycles. So they're speculated to basically be depleting the food sources for other mussels and mollusks. Mainly just kind of like taking away all their food because the species is kind of in high production. There's a lot of them around now. They're kind of taking over the coasts and all sorts of places with the water. They've also been found to kind of have a negative effect on the water quality. So that has a negative effect on the environment too, and the animals that live in that water also. So on my third slide, the invasion ecology of the Asian clam. Kind of talk about where they came from, why they're bad, what native species they affect, and then how they kind of cause harm to the environment, the species, in other words. So how did they get here? They were imported from China as a food source around 1930. They're mainly imported to the west coast of North America, but now they've kind of just spread around to all areas that have a coast and or significant water amounts. They're bad because they've been depleting food sources for their competitors and hurting the water quality. Without competition, everything basically just kind of dies off. If they eat too much plankton, of course the plankton dies off, and then of course the Asian clams then don't have a food source, so they look otherwards, and then they affect other environments, and so on and so forth. The native species affected, so they mainly affect the native mollusk populations in the areas that these Asian clams are kind of infesting. Since now that they're kind of all over North America, there's not a specific mollusk, I guess, that is being targeted, but all over it's just kind of a bad thing to have right now because they're just kind of killing them off. So how did they cause harm? They deplete food sources, lower the quality of water, and can eat some competitors of. So just kind of things I've already restated, but yeah. On my fourth slide, I kind of go over the current research that's taking place to kind of control these species, and then what's the kind of like prognosis. So what's being done right now is certain areas are being using like screens and traps and filters to kind of take out these Asian clams, especially from like water systems. It's been found in like Britain that there's a lot of clutter in these water systems because these kind of clams just get into it and then kind of clog it, like, and not being able to work. So something they've been trying is shooting hot water into the pipes, which then kill the Asian clams and then kind of just unclogs that area. And then the prognosis is that the Asian clam species needs to be controlled and restricted so it does not continue to cause destruction on the native species and human creations. So this is talking about the competitors in the water, any other environmental factors such as water quality, and destroying other competitors' food sources, along with human creations such as piping, coasts, in those areas that it's been affecting for a while. And then on my last slide, I have my citations as to where I got most of this information that I used for this topic. And two of these are government articles, and the other two are kind of articles that haven't been as peer reviewed as the other two. And that's kind of how I got my information. All right, thank you.